Laurie Renton is coming into the Very Secret Plan. This is the Scoresheet creation session. Will she take the red pill or the blue pill? Let's see. Welcome to the Very Secret Plan. I can't hear you.
Unmute. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful. Me too.
How are you doing?
I'm so good.
So do you want to take the blue pill or the red pill today?
I will. Definitely the blue.
The blue.
Definitely.
Okay, that means staying out of the matrix. Okay, we'll take it easy on you today.
Oh yeah, for sure. Keep me out of the matrix for now, because I already feel like I'm actually in it.
Well, that's the blue's going to maintain that.
Oh.
Red is what takes you out.
Oh my goodness.
So today we're going to learn the how to create a score sheet utilizing the weekly score sheet session, and that's a red pill kind of activity.
Oh,
Transformative, because what we're going to do is we're going to take your 25 top activities and create a score sheet for you to track how you're doing and what you want to do, and is it heading you towards your yearly goals.
Oh, that is so perfect, especially with the end of the year coming and we're going into 2021 in such a really in a powerful way, because the world right now is so chaotic that now that we're like, once we get through this chaos and the storm, guess what? There comes the calm and humanity finally catching on. Just saying, my perspective.
Say that again.
It's very important for me to be the change, especially in the world of business, because to me, business has always been about PROFIT, which is important. That's a crucial part of running business, running households, running anything. But PROPHET is what will rise humanity. When you can have a team of people within an organization, a business, and be doing growth like you do, Elijah, like I do, I think that's crucial, because the more people around us that can vibrate at higher levels, being secure with themselves, loving themselves, and learning that through business is spectacular. So I got a really nice compliment yesterday from one of my staff, one of my team members. She is I'm going to call her my executive assistant. Like, she doesn't only do what Laurie needs done in business, she's helping me with the learning center and everything. She came from British Columbia. She worked in the business, in the life insurance business for 30 years, 40 years, whatever, 30. And she said she has never, ever done so much self-growth as she's done since she met me and worked at LR Future. That makes me proud. It really does.
Okay, so what you have behind me is the actual score sheet. And so I'm going to take you through a facilitated process today. Is that okay? Do I have your permission?
You sure do.
And this is a coaching session, right?
Yeah.
Within the New Paradigm Toolkit in the School of Conscious Communication, and utilizing the inflow matrix. And what this is one of the pieces of the inflow matrix. And so you got a pen and piece of paper in front of you?
I got a stack of it.
Okay. So on one of your pieces of paper, maybe you need 5 pieces of paper.
Okay.
Write personal space.
Okay.
And then on the second, and what we're doing here is we're looking at these 5 spaces: the personal space, the one-on-one space, the group space, the community space, and the sacred space. And could you give me a little bit of a little bit of feedback on that particular model, what you think of it, how you use it, how it's maybe affected you since you started using it?
Are you talking about my synergy map and values mapping?
This one particularly, because didn't we do the 5-space values map at the first session 1 of the course?
Yes, we did that as a team with the Learning Center, people involved in the Learning Center. It was powerful. So yes, I can give a little brief on it. You know, when you start, you pick one space, right, that resonates with you. of course you build into all of them because everything is about the whole you. That's what's wrong with a lot of systems out there, is they're only looking at pieces of you, not at the whole you. So what I found, the exercise itself was cool because there were 4 of us all involved in the Learning Center. And as we developed each of the spaces with our values and our intentions, wasn't it cool how all of a sudden you get to the end, the group space, and you're going, oh my goodness, we're 4 individual people that have come together to do this training with Elijah. And we had so many things in common as our goals once it came into the group space, because really, like, us humans are all, we want things to be better. In reality, we want everything to be the best it can be. But what I found is how that stuff wasn't even talked about with that group of people ahead of time, and how we had all these commonalities, even in values, how it came up and you're going, holy cow, is that ever cool? So, I mean, I was involved in it. I wasn't an observer, but I'm all, as you can see, Einstein behind me in my office, I am an observer. I love, love, love observing how people respond to things, and watching that team of 4 go through that process with you. I think we ended up having 4 sessions or 5 sessions that took us through each of the spaces.
Right.
So what I could see there, Elijah, like, it did bring us together. So what I see now is, now how do we take that and move to the next step in the Learning Center? Because that's my semi-retirement, is that Learning Center.
Right.
Life matters. Your life matters. Learning Center.
Right. So here we have the 5 spaces in a score sheet, looking specifically at that model as being like one of the main organizing models that we start people off in. So we're distinguishing the primary boundaries in our thinking between the personal space, which is just us, the one-on-one space, which is just you and another, the group space where a third comes in and there's a limited number, and then the community space, which is the larger area and feeling of connection between the people in the whole community and how they come together in different places that aren't necessarily configured to a specific group. And then the sacred space, which allows you to bring in what you think is sacred or spiritual, but allows every different sort of denomination to do so in whatever manner that they choose, right? So it's a very basic, open space, but acknowledging, you know, the sacred that is there for the people.
I saw how much that stood out for me, because one of the gentlemen in our group of 4 he's Nigerian, but born in the Philippines. And it started making me realize that, you know, I mean, I realize that anyway, because where I live in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, we're starting to really, over these last years, we're building culture here. Like, we've got people starting to move here from all over the world. And so when I look at a sacred space and you go, that's all, it doesn't matter what your nationality is, it just doesn't matter, male, female, whatever. Everybody brings their perspective to the table and their point of view. It's really cool when you're open-minded and healthy in your personality that you're able to honor that and actually grow through it, because you're starting to learn what, we're all humans. We all have these basic needs, right? But because of the culture we grew up in, sometimes those needs are different. They're all the same, but they're different, right? You come at them from a different angle, so.
Okay, so the first step is sort of doing a bit of a brainstorm. So we're moving into a brainstorm conversation for yourself, where you're looking at what are the top 5 activities that you want to track in each of those spaces.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just give you about 10 minutes maybe just to kind of put those down as you go, okay?
In each space?
Yeah, in each space, come up with at least 5 activities that you want to track, that are so important to you in your business that you go, these are going to be the performance measures that I'm going to use for myself.
Okay. I mean, if I didn't get all 5, like, I know, you know, we would be, this is all over time, of course, because this is a lot for a lot of people in an hour call that we're doing. But what I'm seeing is, and I'm very head-centered, so I'm going, okay, 5 things on 5, that's 25 things. Okay. So
I think you can do it in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to leave you alone for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And just use your intuition. What are the top 5 activities in each space that you want to track in your business that are going to show you that you're getting done what you want to get done?
Okay.
How's it going?
Really good.
Okay. Do you need another 5 minutes?
Nope.
Really? You're almost done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Holy schmoly.
Mhm. Well, you know, once you start rolling, and like some of it's going to be what I'm finding, it may be a little bit of duplication, but if it's duplication, then it needs attention. What is it? You put attention to an intention?
Okay, let me write these down.
Okay.
Okay, so give me the 5 in the personal space.
Okay, personal space, I put more focus. Like rather than being scattered, really hone in on something and really embrace that. Client intros to my new team member, which is Emmanuel.
Okay, wait a sec. Say that one again, the second one?
Client intros, like introducing clients. They've kind of basically met them, but to really build on the relationship he's going to have with clients going forward.
Oh, for Emmanuel.
For Emmanuel, yeah.
Okay.
Creating your message matters, like creating my story so that no matter what, my story's consistent and it's real. So I'm working on that right now because I was asked to speak on a podcast. Oh, I know. Never mind. I'll get it yet. So getting my message out there.
Okay, wait. Getting message out there.
Yeah. So yeah. And if you want to just put in brackets, like, you know, when mom died and then how things started to come to me. And then I get introduced to Elijah and all this stuff starts coming into my life. So to really build a message on that.
Okay, so your story. Okay.
Yeah, my story. Yeah.
Okay, number 4.
Getting more organized. My main assistant has cancer right now, and this is the time for me because now I'm starting to have to get organized myself. And decluttering my mind and my space.
Okay.
Like my physical space. That's kind of home and work.
Okay, now in the one-on-one space.
Well, one-on-one coaching platform, like to have an actual coaching platform, whether it's 5 steps, 9 steps, whatever that be, to get people to the next step.
Okay.
Cash flow planning. We've got pieces pulled together, but it's to bring the whole thing. Money 101 coaching for the basics.
Okay.
Values mapping.
Okay.
And helping others find the light in themselves. So, you know, we talked about a map the other day, designing your ideal job. That would be a thrill for me to sit down with someone. They might even be in their ideal job. They're just not seeing it through the light, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that excites me.
Okay, now your group space.
Now, group is design workshops based around the Enneagram personality work. I've done it in a bit of pieces again, but people want to, if their personality is a 6, they want to come and spend 6 sessions in a group with just that personality. Yeah, conscious conversation days at the Learning Center. Whether it's 1 day a week or 2 afternoons a week or something, just to start the flow going.
Okay.
Continuing financial courses in the Learning Center, like 9 rules of credit. And I wrote these ones down just so you have an idea. 9 rules of credit,
Okay,
Money
wait,
101.
what's the be continuing financial courses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 9 rules of credit, you could just put in brackets so that there's kind of a
Okay.
context. Values mapping and Money 101.
Okay.
Personal growth environment in our work culture.
Okay.
And designing workshops around points of view. And it's going to be called 9 points of view.
Okay. And that's for number 5.
Number 5 is designing a workshop with 9 points of view.
I had design workshops around the Enneagram, number 1, conscious conversation days at Learning Center, number 2, continuing financial courses, number 3. Oh,
Personal growth. Yeah.
Okay, personal growth environment in work and designing workshops. Okay,
Yeah.
and community space.
Design a Money 101 for Habitat for Humanity families.
Design
Money 101 for Habitat for Humanity families in our community. And to create it in a 4-part series. So it's little bite pieces.
Okay.
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 Create a power of a question podcast or video or whatever that's going to look like. The power of a question.
Okay. Is that just one, or is that like an actual podcast?
I'm thinking it would be the actual podcast, the power of a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Retreat at where I live at Burgess Beach. So once a year retreat. So I've already got some people pulled together for that for next summer.
Okay.
So let's say 2021.
Okay.
And number 4 is hosting events around investing in Saskatchewan
Oh, nice.
at the Learning Center.
Nice.
I know, isn't that cool?
Smart.
Because we have amazing people. We have, I work with 2 companies that they're all about investing in Saskatchewan, and the federal provincial government gives you extra tax breaks.
Okay.
You get an extra 32.5% savings when you invest in Saskatchewan. And we're talking directly to the CEOs of these companies. It's powerful.
32%. How's that?
So what happens is you can spend $5,000. You have to be a resident of Saskatchewan, or one of them you can buy if you're a resident of Manitoba. You spend $5,000. You buy an RRSP for retirement. You get, let's say you're in a 40% tax bracket, right? So you save $800 for buying it as an RSP, but then on top of that $800, you get another 32.5% tax break on the $5,000 again, because you're investing in the province of Saskatchewan. So the federal government gives you 15%, and the provincial gives you 17.5. So that's 32.5%. It's a fabulous. I have like, and they do payroll plans. So if anybody works in any capacity for the government of Saskatchewan, they can do a payroll plan with this. So what you do with a payroll plan, Elijah, is you do $192. You request $192 off your every paycheck. So if you got 26 pay periods, do you know what it comes out to with all these tax breaks? $62 a month pay period. So you got $5,000 at the end of the year. You request $192, but all that comes off your check is $62, and then you have $5,000 at the end of the year.
Wow.
So you go 62 times 26 pay periods. Holy Hannah, how am I doing that? Well, they're giving you the break on each deduction. So if you're getting that deducted, you're paying less EI, less income tax, less everything at source.
Wow.
So I've got people, a lady was in yesterday, she's got $55,000 already built up in her portfolio because she's been doing payroll. She works for the health district. She's a care aide. Do you think that person would have saved that money had she not been on a payroll plan? So I want to really, really enhance that and get it known, do workshops in the Learning Center, go to spaces and speak to their teams, speak to the owners, say, you want to invest back in your people in your business, get them on this payroll plan, investing back in their province.
Wow, seems like
I know.
a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, yeah. And then the last one on community space is host a Vision 2025 event. And Elijah, you're going to smile at this. 12 people at a time, times 12 groups.
There we go.
Yeah.
Host a Vision
2025. Because
Okay.
I think 5 years is a good, insight. Event with 12 people at a time from all walks of life, all types of roles they play in community, like the janitor of the school, people that don't often get called on to say, can you join this group with us? We're facilitating whatever it's going to be called. We're facilitating this, so.
Okay.
Something like they said something like Buckminster Fuller. One of the women that were on our group of 4 initially, Michelle, she's lived around the world, and she goes, well, that kind of sounds like Buckminster Fuller. And I go, what? And then I started looking it up, but it's a lot like the Inflow Matrix New Paradigm Kit that you have. That's what we'll be using, Elijah, because that is what's going to shift. The future is using those tools in that kit. But for me, putting them in an order and a structure so that it just goes clear. Because again, my personality, I'm a bit scattered. So when I see all of a sudden Elijah comes up with a new map, I'm going, now I want to see. These are the 5 or 6 maps I'm going to use, and this is what I want the outcome. You know the old rule of thumb, don't set expectations because then you don't have disappointment, right? I said to a girlfriend of mine, she was dating, she thought she was dating a guy. This is off the beaten path, but it's still a story about expectations. And she says to me, well, he doesn't call me. He doesn't seem like he really wants to date, blah, blah, blah. And then she was going to be going on a date with him again. I said, do me a favor, set 0 expectations of him for this date. She called me the day after her date. She goes, oh my gosh, that was the best time I have ever spent with him, because she didn't have these expectations. So that's Host a Vision 2025. That's really big, and that's community space. So it would be people within the community of Yorkton and region, not just Yorkton, because I don't believe I don't like these fake borders. I keep telling even our council, you guys, let's think bigger than Yorkton. Let's be a big fish in a little pond in Saskatchewan, Canada.
Excellent. Okay, what about the sacred space?
Sacred space is build more cultural connections. So we have a group in town called the Newcomers. And, they say, oh, you're new to Yorkton, you're a newcomer, welcome. So I went and did a talk about RRSPs with them one time. And there was literally, honestly, a young banker ahead of me talking about mortgages. When that person left, the people were asking me about mortgages because they made it so complicated. This stuff is not complicated. And when they do that and it's made so complicated, people don't even want to look at it, right? So that's what I want to do, because they're in a new land. Our tax rules, everything about what we do here is different than India or Mexico or Nigeria, wherever. We're getting such a host of culture here. So that.
Okay. Number 2.
Training at the Life Matters Learning Center with all people and many modalities. So we've been doing a series called DARE, D-A-R-E, to the number, letter B, and letter U, Dare to be You. This was spoken about with Carrie Harris and I in 2007. I found some old notes, and we finally have brought it to fruition. But of course, we have COVID right now, so we're doing in the Learning Center And as of January, we're going to start taking it out on Zoom. So we have kind of 4 key components to it. And I bring in the Enneagram, she brings in her expertise, and we present. And now what we've been doing is we're bringing in guests. So our last guest does what's called family constellation. Her name is Collie. She was amazing. So doing more of that kind of stuff, so people realize there's a lot different ways to build who you are.
Okay.
Meditation in groups. We've got one coming. I have a friend from India that does cacao ceremonies and meditation. So he says, can I come to Yorkton and use that space to do group meditations? Right on. I have a life wheel, let's say a medicine wheel, a Celtic medicine wheel in my yard at home. I've just got the circle made with fine stones and some big stones at all the points, north, south, east, and west. But I realized something came to me through this woman I was talking to. She doesn't even know me. She goes, Laurie, it's not a medicine wheel. And I go, what? I was doing some training online with a Lakota man. And as he was showing me the medicine wheel, all of a sudden he walked over and he goes, come and look at the Celtic medicine wheel. I'm Scottish. I'm going, that resonated with me big time because I've always loved circles, triangles. When I met you, Elijah, and I start seeing these values maps of circles and triangles and stuff like that, I go, why does that resonate with me so deep? Well, when he took me to the Scottish medicine wheel, I'm going like, it's in my culture. It comes back probably from generations. But what this woman said to me in Kamsack, Saskatchewan, she said, Laurie, I see you with that circle, but it's got a triangle in it. And I go, how would she know that? She said it was a circle with a triangle. Well, medicine wheels don't have a triangle in them, right? They got the 4 directions.
Our time is a bit limited, so I'm just going to cut you a bit short.
Yep.
What specifically is the activity that you want to do?
So I want to create my life wheel, medicine wheel, whatever we want to call it, in my yard, so that when people come out and do retreats out there, they can come out one-on-one, they can do whatever. So it's kind of a sacred space in my yard.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last one is retreats, building retreats out at our lake, doing earthing, cacao ceremonies, walking the wheel of life, meditation, all that stuff, like literally retreats out there my space where I live is very sacred.
Okay. Excellent. These are really good. Must feel pretty cool to write them down so quick.
You know, I go, how am I going to get 5 on each one in that short period of time? But you're right. When you know what your heart wants, it really isn't that hard. It's just to take time to do it. And writing it down, like Elijah, this learning center next door, that's been in my heart for 20 years. 20 years I've wanted to do that because I realize the education that we need to learn in a more simple format around money is crucial. And it doesn't even matter if you're building a vision board. You can still say, these are my dreams and visions. And what does it take for those to happen? It takes some money often. Mm-hmm. As creating the ideal job and finances, it's like, okay, well, you have to have a job, or you want to have a job or a business so you can make money so you can live your dreams.
Exactly.
And the dreams don't always have to be material, do they?
No. Okay, so let's go back to the personal spaces.
Okay.
And let's just do a quick exercise of priority and go 1 to 5. What's the top one and what's the next, third, fourth, and fifth? Give each one a position from 1 to 5.
Okay.
And 1 is the highest priority and 5 is the lowest.
Okay.
And when you're done, just tell me.
I did put them in order, but I think my number 1 is to create my message, my story, because I've been asked to sponsor a podcast. That's why. Number 2 is the client intros, because that's part of my 3-day-a-week working in the LR future. Okay. 3 is more focus. 4 is getting organized. And 5 is decluttering the mind and space.
Okay. Now, just in terms of more focus, what would be an indication that was happening? Like what are you tracking?
Oh, that's what, I'm not positive how that is. Like I have the word focus everywhere because focused wisdom, that's it. It's focused wisdom because I turned 60. I'm always about, I need to learn more, I need to learn more. Now I'm realizing it's not all out there to learn, it's coming back and knowing that I have the wisdom within me. So to really pay attention to the wisdom I have within through
So,
life experience.
okay, now again, how would you know it was taking place?
Because I'm not searching out there all the time. Oh, there's a training course, I need to take it. Oh, there's that, I need to take it. And to really catch myself when I get scattered, I'm focused here, and then all of a sudden I'm going, oh, I need to do this, or I need to do that. I'm catching myself, so it's awareness.
So it's kind of, how about this? It's kind of like every time that you catch yourself getting distracted and then you come back on point, you're going to track that.
Oh my gosh. Check, 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 check.
Okay?
But maybe I'll have something on my wrist that goes, click, 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 click. I got distracted.
So what can we call it? A distraction tracker.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, because that's, we need something specific. So client interest for Emmanuel is very specific. Creating your story, getting message out there. Is that like, are you writing it? Is it like scenes? How about you could track number of scenes you're making?
Oh, yes.
Like, do you want to do this in videos? You want to do this in writing?
Well, I think I'm doing it in writing. I'm very much about, even if I was at a computer, I will write and then I can put it on a computer. So I'm doing that right now in writing.
Okay, so how about like writing, do you put them on index cards or do you
No, I
write like
don't.
full pages?
I write full pages. So I think I
Okay,
need
so
to
we'll just do
condense
number
that.
of pages?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Okay.
it says here for getting more organized. Is that just like time organizing kind of thing?
Time, space.
So
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just thinking about
organize.
something to track, like the amount of minutes per week you actually are spent organizing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to maybe go, now this part of this day, I am organizing. That's what I want to look at, is saying, so this half hour of this part of the day, I'm in here and I'm organizing.
Okay, so it's by time.
Yeah. It's by time. Yeah.
Now decluttering mind and space, how are you going to track that?
Well, decluttering space kind of comes with the getting more organized, but it's also
What's the
just,
difference?
the mind is maybe taking that time. So, you know, when we set up top and we go distraction tracker,
Yeah.
taking that time, closing my eyes, shutting everything off, and just doing a 3-minute breathing exercise.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, so
And there might be
minute
3,
breathing.
4.
So
Yeah.
okay. Now, have you ever tracked anything before like this in a score sheet?
No.
Okay. Okay, now one-on-one space, coaching platform. Is this like number of sessions?
Yeah.
Okay. Cash flow planning is again thing, a session.
Same, yeah. Same thing per session.
So are all of these basically sessions?
Yeah.
Okay. All sessions.
And you notice the ideal job there on number 5. Well, that's your map that you've designed, and now for me to do training on it so that I can go out there and do it with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that would get a lot of attention, Elijah. I got Emmanuel, Elijah, Eben, all these E's. So
Well,
for that one, it's a matter of me learning the ideal job map.
Yeah.
So that's
well,
you and I.
And what I'll be taking you through is basically designing your ideal job with you, and then we can use this as an online course together.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like you and a few others are the first people in. We make
Okay.
videos, and here's the examples of it. And so when we create the whole online video course, because I'd like to create one course that's kind of like less expensive, but doesn't take our time, but it's automated. So somebody on their own could just go through the videos and make their own course. And then another course, which is online, where people are participating. Because I think that deep down, people need the participation. And
definitely.
yeah, but there's a, you know, if we can get 100,000 people doing the design your own ideal course for $200 or something, you know, that's a good revenue stream, and it's good value for the people who are doing it. But if we're doing an online course and maybe it's $1,000 or $2,000 or something, it's a lot more in detail and they get a lot more support.
Yeah.
And because I really feel that, you know, people these days, if you could spend $2,000 and come out of it ready to go with your ideal job, I mean, that's, people go to university for 4 years, spend 30 grand, and still come out and they're paying $20 an hour to someone doing something else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what we want to do,
that is going to be big, especially in the world right now where we see, you know, people getting laid off, things happening with COVID as an example.
yeah,
Well, go out and create something. Go wash windows. Say you're going to wash this many windows in a community. Become a rotator of washing people's windows. Something that simple.
yeah,
Yeah. And love what you do rather than just doing it for the money.
for sure. And I think these days, because in Zoom, I mean, if you can get 4 people in a room in Zoom, again, each paying $25, that's $100 an hour.
Right.
And all you have to do is you have to give them value. And so what we did before, right? We proved that. We did a map per week, which to me, each one of those maps you could do with somebody, with 1,000 people. Like, it's so much value to me in getting the leverage point of these maps, because these maps then can be used to organize anything. But it's just getting them in your mind first. And what we want to do is demonstrate incredible value and set ourselves up so we have, again, hundreds of thousands or millions of people coming, because so many people's lives are changing as a result of the investment in themselves and the time and the money.
To realize that investing in the self is one of the best investments you can make in your life. I'm a financial advisor, and I tell people, invest in you. So, you know, Zoom has breakout rooms. Elijah, that's where I could really see, like you say, participation. People want to be part of something bigger, but they're kind of shy by themselves or whatever. But if you do breakout rooms and everybody has a chance to have that couple minutes or whatever it is, I think that's powerful.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Just going into the group spaces. So design workshops around the Enneagram. So that's, I guess, a workshop is what you're counting.
Yeah.
Then conversation days, that's a day. Then containing, okay.
Continuing.
Wait a second. Could we go back to the one-on-one?
Yeah.
Sorry. And can we do that 1 through 5?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So 1 would be the coaching platform.
Okay.
2 would be the ideal job. I so want to get this going because I think that is something, I don't know what you think of this, but I'm a financial advisor, but I sell health insurance plans. They're non-threatening, they're whatever. People come in, you build a relationship with them because they're coming in for that, and then you start working with them with their finances. I feel the ideal job is something that everybody would look at and go, this is really cool. And then we can lead them into values mapping and different things for development. So I'm going to put that as number 1.
Okay.
And then the coaching platform is 2 because it kind of blends.
Yeah. And it's, you know, if you start with the ideal job and then you do the coaching afterwards or through it, like you're a support platform, right? Because I just think there's going to be a lot of people that we're going to be processing through this. And So
I might call that coaching platform, calling coaching support platform.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Because I know myself, I'm a learner. I have no problem implementing things I learn. But what I find is, like you say, you go to a motivational speaker, you go to Tony Robbins, you spend a weekend at an event with him, you walk away, now what? So it's like to take people through, because we know to create habits and to do things, you've got the minimum of 21 days. But let's do 3 months. Let's do a year with people. Let's do 2 years with people and allow them to grow and take it to their countries and their communities.
Exactly.
Okay,
so just to let you know, Laurie, we've got a little bit amount of time. I'd like to get in everything that, I'd like. So what's the number 3?
3 will be the cash flow planning.
Okay.
Values mapping, and then the money.
Okay.
I kind of have that already. So now which one?
Okay, now
Group?
group spaces.
Okay, so I got to put it in order. Oh, designing workshops around the Enneagram. That'll
Okay.
be one. Designing workshop around points of view, because I bring those together.
Okay.
Personal development within the work environment.
Okay.
Conversation, conscious conversation days at the Learning Center. I'm just looking for someone to serve the tea and bring the stuff. And then 5 will be the continuing financial courses, because they're already kind of there. It's just to put them on a system. Okay.
Okay.
Community.
Yep.
Okay. Power of a Question podcast.
Okay.
I'm already working on that. Events around investing in Saskatchewan. Hosting a Vision 2025 is 3. Designing a Money 101 course for Habitat for Humanity, 4. And then a retreat at Burgess Beach, 5.
Perfect.
Sacred
And
Space.
sacred space.
Yeah. Training at the Life Matters Learning Center with the many modalities.
Okay.
Building culture within, build culture connections within newcomers.
Okay.
Designing, creating my wheel. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I will continue to work on that.
Okay.
Meditation in groups is 4, and retreats out at Burgess Beach is 5.
Okay.
There.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is cool.
That's a lot done in a short amount of time.
Holy.
Okay, so now a little bit of feedback from you in terms of what does it feel like to first to put it down, and then 2 to now prioritize it.
Well, I think what it does for me is I often will get people to do this with me, like if I'm putting down goals for finances and stuff. But what's good for me is I'm being facilitated through it, and I go, it keeps me on track. So when I say more focus and more focused wisdom, I'm already feeling relief in my body, going, wow, I just did a lot of stuff in a short amount of time, because time is so valuable. And when I'm doing financial advising with people, and it says, we come to the resource card, right? Number 2, resources. And I said, we're talking about the resource of money, but there's time, there's physicality, there's these other resources that we don't even take into place. So for me, time is valuable. So by saving me time and creating this through this 1 hour, wow. So that's me, and I'm a personality that's fairly scattered because I'm a visionary. I've always got ideas going. I wake up at 4 in the morning and I've got an idea I've got to write down because I don't want to forget it. So if you go to a different personality, then they would respond a little differently to it. So that's what I like about people kind of understanding their personalities too, and me understanding it, working with them so that I'm not going way out there as a 7, as the enthusiast.
And do you feel that what we just did today, you could do with other people?
Oh, yeah.
Like specifically? Yeah. Because what I like to do in this is whatever we do with people, whatever I'm doing, then the customer can then do with their people. And so we're creating this viral campaign of a new system that's structuring how we use our time, how we keep score, how we organize our money. It's the new paradigm, right?
So in this case, like I'll go out and I'm going to go do one of these with someone else. I already told my oldest son, I said, I'm on a call for an hour. I'm going to take what I learned and I'm going to do it with you. So put an hour aside this weekend and I'm going to do the same thing with him.
Fantastic.
So I've already built that practice. So what I'm thinking is, as we do this with people and we go, okay, now what your homework is you go out and you do a map with someone. You did that with us,
right,
Elijah, when you did that 4 of us.
Yep.
I think that's valuable. And then to have an accountability factor to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I like that what you just said. I hope you recorded this because I like what you just said about organizing our finances, organizing this stuff. You know the old saying, train the trainer?
Right.
We want you to learn this so well. I want to learn this so well that I can take it out there and I can say, I don't want to just hoard all this so that I'm the only one that can teach it. I want to teach the mass. I want to teach the mass how to become millionaires.
Yeah.
In heart, soul, money, whatever that means to you.
And essentially, you just got put on the time translator as one of the 20.
Mhm.
And I just find like what's happening is as the sort of inflow matrix parts, a huge amount of parts are coming in right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like when you're reformatting the mind, it's like the parts have to kind of come in and then you have to see where they fit and what they do. And because I've been working on this so long, I get lost, right? Within
Right.
parts to use with who and which order. And
Yeah.
so now with you and whoever, like these 20 people, I'm focusing on 20 people. And that
Okay.
might be the next layer for you. Go, okay, focus on 20 clients. And
Oh,
then those 20 are going to do the same thing. So we're like every time, like every level, we're increasing 20 times. So with 2 people, we've got 400 people in our network,
wow.
right? And if I can make a living just on coaching you 20 people,
Yeah.
and all of you know that whatever I'm coaching you, you can use with 100. You can, you don't have to be limited to 20. And then we can do online larger groups of people together. Because now we're utilizing, because this is an actual team thinking system, and just by
Yes.
myself or just by yourself, it doesn't work. You have to train other people, because then it becomes a reference point for how you guys are going to be communicating, learning, creating, and healing together.
Wow. Wow.
And it's a game. Like now, every week you're going to have a score that is going to be your score, and going, wow, I did really good here. I did this, and here. And over time, you get to have like, it's a log of everything you've done, and you can show people this was my process. Because at some point they'll go, how did you went from kind of like almost nothing to, you did 10 courses, 3 symposiums, 500 coaching sessions. And it's just when we keep score, we pay attention. It's like in basketball, I pay attention to scoring points, to rebounding, to boxing out, to fouls, to assists, because those are the stats in basketball that you're tracked in. And humans at some point will just do what you're being tracked in.
It's funny you say that and use basketball, because I just wrote keeping score gets you to pay attention, because I just read The Sacred Hoops. Amazing book, and he uses a lot of the medicine wheel and the Lakota Indian philosophy with coaching Michael Jordan and stuff like that. What an amazing book. So this is cool. And I wrote in big letters, focus on 20 clients.
Yeah.
So this focus word that I used for myself through this process is powerful. Okay. Cool.
So it's
team thinking system to create a shared system.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so part of your sell, or part of your benefits that you're saying to people, is that at some point you are going to link these 20 together into training sessions. You'll go from one-on-one into groups of 4 to groups of 20. And the real fun comes when the people start to meet each other and start to interact in a sort of unique way in the learning center, right?
That's exciting.
Because I think that when the 20 come together, that's when our superhero DNA gets activated.
Yeah.
And that people, until you're seen for who you are as a superhero, you don't really know how gifted you are and how to bring your gifts into the world. You need to have a group of people around you who know you're like the Incredible Hulk or you're Spider-Man.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, who love and support you, right? And love your gifts rather than get scared by them.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of very gifted people that shut down their gifts when they were young, because it created such a weirdness with the culture they were in. But now the culture is beginning to understand that our culture is going through a transformation, and there are kids that can, read books without opening the book, kind of. I've heard, there are people smell colors. Like there's a very unique human alteration happening.
Yeah, there totally is. Like, I'm just feeling it, but my feeling for it is excitement, because I know it's taking us to new levels in humanity. So, Elijah, thank you for this, because I don't even know what to say, because I know how powerful it is. I've been working with this since 2011 in the values mapping system within my organization. And I even see that, and I haven't even used that to near the capacity that I could have with the team. So even when we say focus on 20 clients, I'm going to start with the internal team right here and actually go, okay, on this day, this is what we're doing. I need an hour of your time. And I'm going to do that with each of the teams or each of the employees. Yeah.
Because,
and then
sorry,
go ahead.
Well, just saying that there's going to be certain things that you share, keeping score on. And so at the group space, all of you might be sharing these, right?
Yeah.
And then, but at the personal space is different. The one like, it's looking at what are shared scores, what are the same scores, and at the end of each week, you have a scoreboard showing, the as a team or organization, like, oh, we scored, 2,000 personal points. Oh, we scored, so you're getting feedback on the organization as you grow within a methodology of scoring that you've never used before, and you may go, wow, we just had like 10,000 community points, this week.
I can tell you, I felt that years ago when I won community involvement. My business won community involvement in the Chamber of Commerce Awards. And the question that they asked me is, how do you get your team so involved? And you know what I said? You walk the walk. You get involved, and then you give them some time to get involved in their workday with something. So that's all I said to her. My answer was, you walk the walk. You become that example. So I know how powerful that felt when we actually did our proposal to win that award. I had a young girl do it up for me, and she went to each of the team members and asked what they do, how much time they put into community building and volunteering. We had thousands and thousands of hours. It was powerful. And when people can start seeing that within business and how important that element in business is, then everybody feels like they're a bigger part of it. They're not tiered like this, they're tiered like this, the circle. So today is a 1 day research, science, I'm just going, doesn't this fit where we're starting here? Where I'm starting. Elijah, you've been doing this forever and ever, but you're right. You can't, we're not here to do it alone.
Yeah.
We're here to do it as a group, and we can expand this out to millions of people in the world. And I'm starting right here in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. So be ready.
I am. Okay, well, thank you very much, Laurie. This was a great session. Congratulations, and we will see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Sounds good. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
Take care.